Welcome to r/today I effed up, where OP gets fired for taking a drunk girl to her hotel. Our next story is by Gold Fudge 7042. I work at a hotel bar in a large city. Today was a particularly slow one, and during shifts like these, I usually go talk to the guests. One of them was a 22-year-old female who was traveling and a guest of the hotel. I get cut early and I decide to go out for a couple of drinks. At a bar nearby, I see the guest. She's very clearly drunk and proceeds to throw up all over the bar. Now, this part of town was kind of known for sleazy guys, and she's by herself, so I take her back to her hotel, and I get her back to her room safely so that nobody can take advantage of her. I leave her my number so that she can text me if she's okay when she wakes up. She does so the next morning and explains that she was blackout drunk and barely even remembers any of the night. I thought that was the end of it, but that was until my boss pulled me into a room and proceeded to fire me for fraternizing with a guest. I explained that I only got her to her room safe and was worried because she was young and alone. But nope. I'm officially unemployed now, just for helping a drunk girl get back to her hotel okay. So wait, okay, LP, I think you could have definitely saved your job. I mean, all you had to do was just show the boss the text messages that you had between the girl. And I know, there's no way that anybody would have thought anything else. I mean, especially if that area is known for sleazy guys, like you said. And I know you were just trying to make sure she wasn't getting taken advantage of. But I mean, if that area is kind of known for stuff like that going on and nobody else has any context to the situation, it's kind of reasonable to assume that, people would assume that you were taking advantage of her. And I also know that you're a female too, so I don't know if the same kind of rules apply. Like, you would be seen as a sleazy female if you're just seen kind of, I guess, leading a girl away. But yeah, you could have easily disproved the boss's claim about fraternizing with a patron, was it? Yeah, with a patron. And even if you did, let's say, show him the text message, which is, I mean, at this point, your only form of proof. Because, I mean, the girl doesn't remember anything. She just kind of knows that you gave her number. And if after that he still fires you, I mean, you probably didn't even need to be there. Because, I mean, to be honest with you, if a boss is just going to automatically fire you for, fraternizing with a patron, and you weren't even given a real chance to prove yourself, then he or she was probably trying to get rid of you anyways. Our next story is by Always the Quiet Ones. Today I effed up when I tried to wake my husband up by licking... Today I effed up when I tried to wake my husband up by licking his balls. So today I was feeling a bit playful, and I thought a fun thing to do would be to wake him up with a bit of a kiss and a stroke down there. He lays on his side, so the easiest thing to do is to give him a gentle stroke. He started stiffening up, but it didn't really stir. He loves me licking his balls, so I tried to give them a lick. It wasn't easy without him helping to maneuver into the right position. I lifted his leg a bit and got a good angle. He started to stir and shift, so I sat back until he settled more on his front, but still on his side. I was clearly in quite a determined mood, and I tried to get to his balls from behind his raised legs. As I was trying to get there, he just let out a massive fart, just instantly stinky, inches from my nose. I saw it before I felt it, and I felt it before I smelt it. But there was nothing I could do to save myself. So gross, wouldn't recommend. He's not even that windy. I guess it was just bad luck. Of course, he woke up hard and wanted to get going. Reader, there was no way for him to get me back in the mood that morning. TLDR, I tried to wake my husband up by licking his balls, and he farted in my face. What? One of the comments says, "You made the front side so happy that the back side had to blow you a kiss." Oh my goodness. Oh man, this kind of brings me back to, I think it was when I was a junior. My school kind of used to go on this yearly trip to a basketball tournament that was held in upstate New York. And, me and my friends would go on it because we were on the basketball team. So they would have us in different hotel rooms staying together. And I remember I farted in my friend's face so hard. It's kind of like this story, but without the ball licking part. But yeah, OP, let me know if you got any pink eye from that, because I'm pretty sure that's a way you can get it. Our next post is by Want More Chicken. Today I effed up by bringing up the Ukraine situation with my parents. So me and my parents are both polar opposites when it comes to politics, and at this point, basic value. We had argued for quite some time on the CCP and human rights problems before, around 2019 with the whole movement, protests, riots in Hong Kong, depending on your point of view. And they're in full support of the CCP. That ended by no one shall ever bring up this topic ever again. Today, I forgot my parents' political view and talked about how the Ukraine situation was the worst thing to even happen, and that it was so effed up because it's the most important thing in the world right now. Both of my parents responded by saying that they were in full support of Putin and that Zelensky did wrong by siding with the US and pissing off Russia. He deserved it, and more. Talking to them kind of feels like a Facebook conspiracy in real life, and I'm both disappointed in my parents' take on stuff like this and on myself for not keeping my mouth shut. Edit, we are Chinese living in Hong Kong. Too long, didn't read. I brought up the Ukraine situation with both my parents, and it turned them into Facebook conspiracy theorists and full Putin supporters. Okay, LP, I think in situations like this, you kind of just have to try to make them see things from other people's point of view. Like, imagine if you said, oh, well, let's put you in the Ukrainian people's point of view, right? Like, let's say they were citizens of Ukraine and they just all of a sudden had their home invaded by a world superpower. You know, people are dying, people are going homeless because their homes are pretty much just blowing up. You know, nobody really wants a world war, and this is something that could definitely lead to that. Actually, nobody wants war, period. Well, nobody's sane, but you get what I'm saying. And I guess even if they can't understand it from other people's perspective, I guess the best thing to do is just kind of try to understand why they think that and move on, because at that point, there's just like no coming back from that, you know? People who are happy that this happened are, you know, like, why? For what? Like, do you want to experience another world war? I know I sure don't. And by the way, I'm not saying that I experienced a world war or any type of war for that matter. And in fact, this is like the first war that I've really ever remember. But I mean, just like judging from the millions of people that died during World War II, a World War III would definitely kill way more. And plus, man, come on, like I live on the East Coast. If anything, we're getting bombed first. This has been Today I Effed Up. Come back for more daily episodes.